And good morning. Today I'm doing some testing with the new E10 from Sony. I've got the camera 2 days. I can move closer in. 2 days back I got this camera. Been loving it since then. I've had a few adjustments that were very welcome. The autofocus on this thing is the best. I love it. I really do. The inbuilt microphone is, I have really no complaints with the inbuilt microphone, but right now what you're hearing me on is through the you're hearing me through the VideoMic Go 2. I've mounted it on top of the camera. This is my room where I live. Not a voiceover setting right now, just a regular setting. And I'm doing this video just to try out how well this camera can do, in situations where you have to be like recording while hand holding the camera. And I've not mounted it on a tripod or something, not even on that Gorilla Pod thing. But what I've done is I'm just hand holding it because I love doing that. I'm hand holding it and I've mounted the VideoMic Go 2 on top of the camera. And the gain level on the preamps on the camera, because this microphone does not have its own power and it doesn't have the feature to set gain on the microphone itself. You have to set it on the camera, and with Sony preamps I think this is going to do a good job. I will take all of these videos, make them into one video. There's going to be a comparison. There is no need for subtitles in this one because it's English. All of you can do English, can't you? But jokes apart, yes, this is how the ZV-E10 and the VideoMic Go 2 setup is sounding. The next clip that you'll be watching would be me doing the ZV-E10 plus the VideoMic Go 2 boomed my style just out of the frame, so I can probably lower down the gain a bit more. That would be intriguing. And let's do that. Let's jump onto that. And I'm still yet to figure out, the layout of the buttons just a bit. It's not a hassle. It's very convenient. One thing I've noticed about the Sony systems is that, the things are very convenient here. It's not a lot of hassle, and the body is very compact. It's very small, so there's not much of looking around. And people have been criticizing Sony menus for a long time. Hey, the menus are complicated. I find them to be pretty organized. And they're great. I mean, I don't know, it could be an unpopular opinion, but I think these menus, the more control you have somehow. But that could just be me, and I'm sorry if I've offended you with that, but it's cool. I'm liking everything about this camera so far. Amazing. Alrighty, moving onwards to the next video test where I am booming the microphone. I'm hand holding it. It's like just out of the frame, so you cannot see it, but I can see it very clearly. And one thing that Nikon had, its camera, the port where you connected your microphone, you had to open this huge flap, which kind of covered half of the screen while you were, in this vlog setup or self-filming setup. It blocked half of the screen, and the one most important thing that it blocked was the levels meter. And the levels meter on this thing is horizontal, so you can still see a lot of it. In fact, you can still see completely how the levels are working right now. I'm hitting around -12, -10, which is very healthy. I was hitting around -14, -12, while it was mounted on top of the camera. But this thing is fantastic. It has a lot of improvements over Nikon, and I'm really enjoying that. The color system is also good. People are complaining about the display. The display is not good, and I'm continuously looking at the screen. You can make that out. Because what's that called? I like chimping, but chimping is something else. But I'm constantly checking the framing, and another option that is very good on this camera is you can have grids on screen. Nikon didn't do that. 5200 didn't. 5300 did. 5600 did. 7200 did, and so on. So the one I had was the most unfortunate one. It also didn't have the feature to transfer your videos via Bluetooth. You had to buy that separate, one separate dongle to transfer all that stuff. Such a pain. And I bought that. And in fact, I sold it off altogether when I sold the camera system. The entire thing. I sold everything. It was no use for me. Somebody who will buy the camera would be probably using it in a better fashion than I can. So yeah, this is how it sounds when I'm booming the microphone. I am very content, of course, with what I'm seeing, and of course with some moody lighting and the kind of lighting system that I prefer. And even on the 16 mm setting on the kit lens 1650 OSS, f3.5 right now, the background blur is still not bad. It's never bad. With good lighting, kit lenses perform great. So if you need to utilize your kit lens to the best, give it good lighting, and it will give you very good results. Next up, you'll be hearing me without any microphone connected to the camera, just the onboard microphone, so it will be a comparison from the audio perspective. Right, so now what I've done is I've just taken off the microphone here, it's right here, VideoMic Go2. And I quite like this microphone. It's also good for voiceovers if you want to do casual stuff, not the real professional stuff, but the casual stuff. It's quite good at that. And this is how the ZV-E10 inbuilt microphone is sounding. I don't really have much to talk about, but there's some background noise, there's some function going on around in the community park that is just a block away from my apartment. And they're loud. We are loud people, and we love loud stuff. Not all of us do, but yeah, a fair good majority of us do. And okay, this is the framing. I'm right in the center of the frame. I don't like it. Let's frame it according to rule of thirds. Let's do this. See that? There's a rule of thirds, and there is this kind of the poster that I have in the background. It's the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It's a great mantra for chanting. If you're familiar with ISKCON, it's their thing. The entire chant is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So it's the same thing. I've got a poster from them, and the framing is now rule of thirds. I have framed it on the left side of the grid line, on the meeting point. It's on my eye or something, or my forehead, but it's great. You change the framing a bit, you go here, and that is another rule of thirds framing. It looks weird that you're not really pointing directly to the camera lens, and the camera lens is pointing somewhere else, and you're like doing a weird angle on that. But for that, most vloggers do this, and yeah, this is kind of a vlog setup. And inbuilt microphone, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? I think the VideoMic Go2 would be better, but I'm not monitoring right now because who cares? I'll anyways be connecting my audio interface separately and recording my audio separately. But the thing is, with the inbuilt microphone on this camera being pretty acceptable, if you really mess up with your recording on your external microphones, the recordings made with the inbuilt camera are still pretty usable. So you will at least not have to shoot the entire video again. It would be posted, and you could probably do a voiceover, or just do a footnote, explain to your audiences that hey, something went wrong, but you can still hear what I wanted to say. So yeah, pretty good feature. Well done, Sony.